Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the weekly comic roundup. We are continuing on with this week's Marvel books. So let's get things started with Moon Knight: Fist of Khonshu, number 4. Where we left off, the Midnight Mission had been destroyed. Also, one could say killed, and Moon Knight had been framed for being um, the ringleader of a drug operation. Basically, highly addictive, magically laced drug known as glitter. This was done by drug lord Achilles Fairchild. And so, the issue opens with Detective Fraser a contact of Fairchild's, attempting to lean on Dr. Sturman for information on Moon Knight. And she basically says that, you know, as she puts it, if Detective Fraser thinks that her police state posturing is going to cause Dr. Sturman to break doctor-patient confidentiality, she's going to have to become significantly more frightening. Fraser says she can do that, though Sturman feels unlikely. Not unless Fraser crosses a line that she hasn't yet. And she goes on to add that she's not Moon Knight. Their Sturman's name is not so easy to drag in the mud, not with her connections. Fraser's a cop. Sturman was a federal agent. She rode with the V Battalion. Fraser knows the commissioner. Well, Sturman knows senators and congresspeople. She was kidnapped by Zodiac, held hostage by Jigsaw. And so Dr. Sturman tells Detective Fraser that Fraser is simply out of her league. And Fraser reports back on this to Fairchild. And it would seem she's having second thoughts. She claims that Moon Knight knows that she works for Fairchild. Glitter is being renamed Moon Dust to make it to link it more to Moon Knight. Another thing that I forgot to mention with last month's issue, Moon Knight revealed to Tigra that Hank Pym is in fact alive, and so he's cut himself off from the rest of his crew: Soldier, Reese, Tigra, 8 Ball, but. And he's watching news reports throws a few crescent darts at the TV, and Jake gives him a lecture. Basically, trying to say, hey, you shouldn't be alone right now. Steven also chimes in. But currently, Moon Knight's hiding in the sewers. Which means he's on the turf of Vermin. Whom he he attacks the Vermin and seemingly kills a large swath of them. And he claims that all he needs now is a wild dog. And so, Moon Knight pays a visit to Detective Fraser. She enters her apartment, gets a beer, and calmly, at least in demeanor, asks if Moon Knight's going to kill her. He hasn't decided yet, but he'd really like to. And he calls Fairchild with Fraser's phone. And the two of them agree to a fight for Moon Knight's territory. Boxing match. Apparently, Fairchild is a boxer. And funny, so Moon Knight used to box as well. But anyways, that is where the issue ends. I can't say I'm surprised to see that Moon Knight's going to basically fight Fairchild for his territory, but a simple fist fight, basically. I imagine it's going to get very not simple, as we don't know too much about Fairchild. So, moving on though to our next book, we've got Namor, number 7. Where we left off, the war in Atlantis had led to Namor undergoing a rite that all kings of Atlantis were supposed to undergo. And so the issue opens on the continent of Atlantis 20,000 years previously. Basically, the sinking of Atlantis. At the start of the sinking. As the issue progresses, Namor is back in the depths, wielding the trident of Poseidon. Goes to the other would-be kings and advises them to basically stand down. They're not going to listen, but a fight occurs, and Namor Namor stands alone against the various armies. parts of the armies, not all of the armies. That night, he sings. And little by little, the other armies don't want to fight Namor. Even the Beast King's armies are just like, no, we're good. But and the art, one in the days he fights his the opposing armies. The nights he sings. But the Lemurians explain that Namor completed the ritual of the Grotto of the Ancients at last. Turns out that undertaking the ritual, he encountered Neptune, who turns out that Neptune's a petty bitch when it comes to the sinking of Atlantis. Sure, he saved his people, but But Namor tells Neptune that he'll tell all the other kings what he's learned, and apparently every king of Atlantis has sworn that. They didn't follow through though. And apparently Namor is destined to be Neptune's favorite. But the fights continue, and finally, he's hailed as King of Atlantis by Lise Kilani and her followers. Even Atuma brings a throne to Namor. But Namor's vision of the Grotto of the Ancients concluded with him punching Neptune. And he tells Atuma to hell with the throne. Atlantis is dead. Long live Atlantis. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting. The thought of Neptune sinking Atlantis, being the one that sank Atlantis, is, and basically for feeling that he wasn't honored enough by his subjects. Yeah, I can see that. For if it's a Greek god, the Greek gods were, like I said, notoriously petty, among other things. Moving on though to our last book for the moment, we've got Spirits of Vengeance number 6, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, Battleino and Vengeance were reunited, and However, Dr. Kumar had triggered the Ghostworks protocol. And at least Johnny was going to look for Linda Littletrees. So the issue opens with search for Linda Littletrees. However, Loki has replaced her, and Vengeance basically doesn't really want to deal with Loki, but well, he must. And Loki tries to basically torture Battleino, but his connection to Vengeance manages to make the torture pretty well ineffective. Loki teleports away and ends up in the God Quarry, face to face with Robbie Reyes. But Loki escapes, but Robbie is not alone. Fantasia is there. And it seems that her teleportation powers might be on the fritz because she's trying to teleport, but she can't. Elsewhere, Johnny Blaze is found Linda Littletrees, who is basically his lost love. And she's dying and is basically being kept alive in Johnny's penance stare. And she tells him that she's wondered that if Johnny met her before Roxanne, maybe they could have had a life together. But eventually, though, Linda dies. And she's aware that Johnny has a secret that he hasn't told any of the other writers. But she dies, and Danny tells Johnny the big secret. The host of the Spirit of Violence is none other than Barbara Ketch. Danny's and Johnny's dead sister. And that is where the series ends. Though Spirits of Violence #1 will continue it. Like read it later next month. But anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.